can be really useful. So I'm going to show you how to do it, and I'm going to show you a method hack. Here's an old favourite. Pippa bought a notebook and 4 identical pencils. The notebook cost the same as 2 pencils. Her total bill was £12.60. How much did the notebook cost? Sometimes it leaps out at you, and sometimes it doesn't. So if it doesn't, you're going to have to form an equation. The place to start is giving a value to a pencil. Let's let the pencil cost X. I always put a value on the smallest item. Then I'm going to form an equation. Then I'm going to solve the equation to find X. And then from that, I'm going to find the value of the notebook. So pencil equals X. And I can mark it up here. There are all X's. The notebook is going to cost 2X because we are told that the notebook costs the same as 2 pencils. Right. So I have 4X for the pencils, 2X for the notebook, and that costs £12.60. £12.60. You can see where this is going. We're going to add these two together. 6x equals £12.60. I'm going to divide by 6. X equals £2.10. I'm asked how much did the notebook cost. Always answer the question asked. The notebook was 2x. So notebook equals 2x equals £4.20. Nice little question. Let's check that answer if you've got time. 4 times £2.10 plus £4.20 for the notebook, a little bit of mental arithmetic, £8.40 is £12.60. Lovely. I feel very confident, and I give myself a moment of joy, which is why we do mathematics. So what did we do? We had a think. Couldn't see the answer drop out, so we formed an equation. We let the smallest item equal X, so we didn't end up with any fractions. And the notebook equals 2X, so we just totted it up, formed an equation, solved to find X. And that's all done very quickly in 5 lines of text, and then we checked it. Why did we form an equation? Well, apart from the fact that we couldn't just see the answer drop out, we had a total for the bill. So we had a total amount. It could be a total length, it could be a total angle. There's a total. And we had different things we need to price, and they all added up to the total. The things had a relationship in this case. So we were able to say what the notebook cost in terms of pencils. So if we price the smallest things as X, then we can put everything as a value of X, and we can show the cost as a multiple of X. Brilliant. So if I was to say I had a method hack, it would be this. Price the smallest item as X, and the more expensive item will be a multiple of X, and then you can easily top these up. There will be no fractions. If you say the notebook is X, then each pencil is half X, and that could end up in a bit of a mess. So let's move on and try another one. Another old favourite. This shape is made from 2 rectangles, so we know each of these corners is a right angle. That's what it's telling us. The shape has one line of symmetry, which I have shown down the middle there, and that tells us that this is identical to this. Absolutely identical, same lengths, angles and everything. The length of BC is 3 times the length of AB. Work out the length of BC. Okay, so let's have a think. Let AB equal X. I'm going to form an equation. I'm going to find X, and then I'm going to find the answer. So if AB equals X, we can mark it over here. We have a relationship between AB and BC because BC is 3 times the length of AB. So we can write in 3x there. Right, we know that the total perimeter is 40 centimetres. So the perimeter of half is equal to 40 divided by 2 equals 20. When I'm talking about half, I'm talking about this half. Well, we're more interested in this half. We've got some measurements on the diagram. So what is the length of this? Well, we know it's 20, but it's also 10 plus x plus 3x. So we can say that 10 plus x plus 3x equals 20. Subtracting 10 and putting these two together, 4x equals 10. Divide by 4, x equals 2.5. Right, so we found AB. Let's see what the question asks for. The question asks for the length of BC. BC is 3 times the length of AB. So BC equals 3x equals 7.5. Nice. As ever with these things, the mathematics is relatively simple. It's knowing what to do. It's experience. It's seeing, here's a question. I think I know what to do with this one. Check if it's time. 10. Ah, what's that? I'll tell you what that is. That's nonsense. 10 plus 2.5 plus 7.5. And that equals 20. Half the total perimeter. Give yourself a little moment of joy. So, think. I'm going to find a formula. I'm going to set the smallest thing, the AB, to x. I then calculate, find x, and check it. Brilliant. Love that. Why do we form an equation in this question? Well, we had a total cost, and that was the 40 here, or amount or a length or something or other. We had different things. So we had AB and BC. There was a relationship between AB and BC. So we could price the smallest thing as x, and then everything else falls into part. We can show that the total cost is a multiple of x. In this case, there's also a 10 to think about. This is a different question. We have an adult ticket costing 10, and Mary went off and bought 2 adult tickets and 3 child tickets. And the total cost was 35. Work out the cost of a child cinema ticket. So we have a little think. Okay, I'm going to let child's ticket equal x. I'm going to form an equation. I'm going to solve the equation to find x, which of course is what we're looking for. So, first thing I'd write down actually is 2 adults and 3 children. I'd actually write 2a plus 3c because I do things quickly. We know the total equals 35, so we know that equals 35. Right, but we can fill in some of the details here. We know that an adult ticket is 10, and we are going to let a child's ticket equal x. So we can rewrite this equation as 2 times 10 plus 3x equals 35. Nice. Which of course is 20 plus 3x equals 35. I'm going to subtract that 20. 3x equals 15. Oh, I like the look of this. It's divided by 3, x equals 5. If x had turned out to be £3.42, I'd have been a little bit more concerned, but 5, beautiful answer. Child's ticket, £5. Of course, we always check. So if there's time, there's 2 times the adult ticket plus 3 times the child's ticket equals 35. Yes, it does. Brilliant. Give yourself a moment of joy. So what did we do? We had to think. What am I going to do? Answer didn't leap out. I'm going to use a formula. I'm going to create an equation. I'm going to let a child's ticket equal x. Form an equation. Solve to find x. There's the calculation. Not too difficult. So that's the first thing I'd write down as the sort of basic equation of everything, and then I'd plug in the bits I didn't know and out would pop the answer, and then I'd check it. So that is forming an equation. I hope that was useful. There are plenty of different questions that require the formation of an equation, which keeps these questions being quite interesting, really. So why don't you subscribe? There are lots of videos on different subjects, more coming. Tell me what you think. Cheerio now.